Hello all, myself Sudha Rani, working as Assistant Professor in Mlritm, Hyderabad. Today, my session will be on as part of natural resources. Today, I'm going to concentrate on mineral resources. So, different types of minerals and how they are useful to us, and what are the environmental impacts. So, these are the different topics which I'm going to cover in today's session. First slide, yes, it is all about mineral resources and different kinds of minerals available on the Earth's crust, in the Earth's crust. So, how we are using them, and when we are mining and taking them out, what are the environmental impacts? And we are going to discuss some case studies related to mineral resources and the effects on environment. Okay, so different kinds of minerals, colorful, and yes, useful in our day-to-day life. In our every household, we'll have usage of minerals. And yes, my index today, I'm going to cover about what are these mineral resources, types of mineral resources, their uses, and associated problems with the mineral resources. So, if we are overusing them or over exploiting them, what are the problems we face? And environmental problems due to extracting and using of mineral resources. So these minerals are concentrated in different layers in the earth's surface. So how we are mining them, how we are taking them, and in that process, what are the different impacts which are caused on the environment? This is something we are going to discuss today. Okay. So, what exactly are minerals? So, minerals are homogeneous inorganic substances which have definite physical properties and chemical compositions. So, these are inorganic substances we are dealing, and they have definite physical properties and chemical compositions. Their physical structures constitute of a sequential arrangement of atoms, molecules, and ions in a lattice. So that is what we mean by minerals. They are homogeneous inorganic substances which are available in the nature with definite physical properties and chemical compositions. So there are around 3,500 different types of minerals found on Earth, out of which only few of these minerals are popularly used. So it is about 3,500 different minerals. So all of them we are not using them. So out of which we have only few minerals which are in usage, and minerals are composed of more than 92 elements of different types. So this is what the statistics of minerals. All the minerals we are not using them. So yes, there are about 3,500 minerals available in our Earth's crust. Next, classification of these minerals. So minerals is it's a naturally occurring substance with definite chemical composition and identifiable physical properties. So chemical composition is definite for each mineral, and physical properties they vary. So you can see they are crystalline solids having a natural occurrence on Earth. They are naturally available on Earth. So these minerals are the scarce resources, and they are non-renewable in nature. They cannot be replenished or replaced over a period of time, hence we are calling them non-renewable. So they are of two types, metallic and non-metallic. Two types of minerals, metallic and non-metallic. Metallic, all the metals come under this metallic minerals, and non-metallic are which are not metals, and they have definite physical properties and chemical structures, and are useful in our daily lives. Let us see what they are actually. So yes, we are going to discuss some important minerals, or some minerals which we are dependent on, or which we are been using from ages. So you can see here the first mineral I'm talking about is iron. So iron, one of the most important mineral among all is iron is used in the production of heavy machineries, automobiles, automotive parts, construction of buildings, agricultural equipment, etc. So most abundantly used metal, and it exists in the earth's surface in a crude form known as iron ore. So it is existing in the form of an ore. So from that we are taking out the iron, and we are using it in production of different machineries, automobiles, construction of buildings, and agricultural practices. Different mechanized machines are being designed, are being, with the help of this metal, which is one of the most abundantly used metal on Earth. Next, then aluminium. This is another one. It's a hard metal, but it is light in weight and used in production of electrical wires. So very hard metal and light in weight. This is one of its composition, and it is used in household utensils, construction of ships, aeroplanes, automobiles, etc. And aluminum is obtained from its ore known as bauxite. So this is another one which is a hard metal and which is light in weight. Hence, it is used in the production of electric wires, especially, and it is obtained from an ore called as bauxite ore. Next one, copper. Copper is one of the valuable metals and is considered as a good conductor of electricity. So, brass and bronze are prepared by alloying copper with zinc and tin. So, brass, bronze are the alloys which are with the combination of zinc and tin. It is used for making electrical wires and appliances. So, one of the valuable metals. So, these are the uses, a good conductor of electricity. This is the main property which lies in copper metal. Next, manganese. Manganese, India is one of the largest producers of manganese, which is widely used in the manufacturing of steel, chemicals, and glass industries. So, one of the largest producers of manganese. So, it is available in our country, and yes, it is widely being used in the production of or manufacturing of steel, chemicals, and glass industries. Now, gold, as we all familiar with gold, one of the most precious metals available on earth after diamond, and it is very fondly used by people of India in the form of jewelry and other ornaments. So this is one thing which is available in the earth's crust and very fondly used in especially in our country. So yes, in the form of jewelry or many kinds of ornaments we make from gold. Then diamond. Diamond, the hardest natural occurring substance on earth, and exists in crystalline form of pure carbon. So it is one of the naturally occurring substance on earth and exists in crystalline form. It is a pure form of carbon, and it is a precious stone and most costly among all stones. So we know about diamond, one of the most precious stone and very costly among all other stones due to its physical properties. So it is one of the hardest naturally occurring substance on earth, and it is in crystalline form, and it is of pure carbon. So that is all about diamond. Next, coal. So when we are talking about non-metallic minerals, coal is one of the most important mineral which is found in the earth's crust. So as you know, it is also known as black diamond, very important mineral which is extracted through mining activities and other minerals, and some metals are obtained from ores of coal. So it is commonly used for generating thermal power, especially in the production of electricity and operating rail engines. So yes, till today, even in our country, 70% we are still dependent on generation of electricity through coal. So slowly we are advancing towards green energies. We are talking about renewable sources of energies because coal is something which is non-renewable. After a few years, if you are being continuously using it indiscriminately, there won't be any coal left after a few years. So that is the reason the world is moving towards green energies. So it's also known as black diamond, and yes, very fondly or very widely used in generation of electricity. Okay, that is one. Petroleum, yes, it is also called as black gold. It is also a crude oil or mineral oil which is obtained as a thick, dark liquid deep down the seabed of the Earth's crust. So it is also called as black gold. Yes, we know the uses of petroleum, and we are fast moving towards electric vehicles. So all these, yes, because they cause huge impact on the environment, especially they lead to the liberation of greenhouse gases, which is causing pollution in the environment. And some byproducts of petroleum you can see here: diesel, kerosene, wax, Vaseline, tar, naphtha. All these are the byproducts of petroleum. We are using them. All these byproducts are being used at different phases. Yes, we are. Yeah, the countries together in the world, we are moving towards vast advanced green technologies, and we are just thinking how to stop the usage of this petroleum, or we are talking about these non-metallic mineral resources. Two most important, coal and petrol. Coal also called as black diamond, petrol also called as black gold. So these are the nicknames given because of its usage and of its cost. Okay, next. Then yes, what are the uses of mineral resources? I was talking to you machineries. You can see here heavy machineries, industrial plants, automobiles, railways, and different parts of machineries. All these are being used in metallic. When we are talking about metallic minerals, yes, they are used in all these areas. And the construction of buildings, and of course, uh, and equipment. In the construction of buildings, construction sector and all, usage of minerals is being used from a very long time. We are dependent on it. In generation of electricity, like coal, uranium, lignite, etc., all these are being used in the generation of electricity. So till today, we are dependent on coal for the generation of electricity. Okay, next. What are the other usage of this metallic or non-metallic minerals in the manufacture of defense weapons, armaments, and ammunitions? So these are used in defense sector also. Different kinds of metals used in defense sector for weapons, armaments, and ammunitions. Okay. Electric wires and cables and other electronic devices, as I was discussing with you, yes, if they are good conductors of heat and electricity, definitely they are being used in this electronic devices as and in electric wires. Jewelry making, gold, silver, platinum, diamond, etc., all these are the minerals which are used in jewelry making. That is one of the a costliest sector. Yes, that is one. Used in Ayurvedic medicines. Yes, we have some medicines and other health supplements. Some of these minerals are used. So their proportions have been used exactly in Ayurvedic medicines. And in formation of alloys for specific purposes. So if not directly, they are alloys form, they are used in specific purposes. So these are the uses of mineral resources. Yes. Now, when there are so many uses, so many advantages, so every household item we can see a metal, a non-metallic mineral, or the metallic mineral. Now, it is having some problems also. So these are not available readily in nature. They are available deep down the earth's crust. So we are digging them down. We are going for mining technologies, and yes, we'll see one by one what are the problems associated with the mineral resources. Now, the first problem is depletion of mineral resources. As I was talking to you, they are non-renewable. So they cannot be replaced, they cannot be replenished over a period of time. So if we are using them indiscriminately, there won't be any resources left in the earth's crust. So depletion of mineral resources. Then there are environmental issues because burning of these fossil fuels, there is pollution in the atmosphere. So those issues are there. Definitely pollution is there. Not only pollution, you can see the land, it's been dug down and the mining process continues even after completion of mining, even after closing that mining spot or the mining areas. Then also, there won't be any natural vegetation on the mining site. So once we lose the natural vegetation, we are losing the soil structure. It cannot be replaced. So that area will be totally converted into a barren land. It cannot be used for any other purpose. So these are the problems associated. Social problems, yes. Mining areas, people are asked to move away, they are asked to be displaced. One of the most important community which is facing this problem is the tribal community, because these minerals are in the hill stations very near to the forests, so this is the community which is highly affected because of mining actions, because lots of noise is there is pollution, water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, all these pollutions are there. And definitely there will be a problem associated with the human health because of all these problems. People were they living very near to the mining sites, the problems are large and huge. We'll check one by one. Yes, depletion of mineral resources. Now we can see here over exploitation of minerals by humans. Most of the mineral resources are a mark of depletion in the future. So over exploitation, taking them out because they're available. Yes, over exploiting the resources. Definitely in future there will be a big question mark. What next? Okay. Next, for example, one example is given here. Mining of gold extracts is causing depletion of mining gold mines in USA. So indiscriminate mining. So after a few years, it will be completed. It will be finished. So there are. It is causing depletion of gold mines in USA. Thus, there is a need for conservation and utilization of mineral resources. So, one, there should be a strategy for conserving them and utilizing them. So, digging them out, there should be one particular, format. So, because they are available, we cannot dig everything outside. It causes, depletion of natural resources. Next. So, some environmental issues. We'll talk about some environmental issues here. They're created due to extraction of mineral. Very serious environmental issues. What are these? We'll talk about. Huge areas of agricultural land have become barren due to increased mining activities. You can see in the picture the mining activities going on. Huge areas, they become barren. Okay, once you start digging layer by layer, you are entering into the earth's crust. So it becomes totally barren. Those areas become totally barren. And, again, replacing those areas with natural vegetation is highly impossible. Next to impossible. It cannot be done. So that is one issue. Next, mineral extraction has resulted in removal of natural vegetation, large tracts causing threat flood. So floods are caused because this is one, they are left like that, open roots, and these flood-prone areas need appropriate drainage system, lack of which causes breeding of mosquitoes and spread of endemic diseases like malaria, dengue, etc. So there is a possibility of causing floods in these areas because the soil is lost. The soil has the capacity of seepage, taking water inside and storing it in the aquifer that we have seen in the earlier sessions. Now the outermost soil has been totally disturbed. Now water cannot seep inside. Now it leads to flooding. Then where lots of water is being stored for long periods of time, then it causes it causes vector-borne diseases. So malaria is very, very common in these areas, dengue and all, very common because of the flooding. So this is one environmental issues related to mining. Next, pollution. Yes, the surrounding areas of these mineral producing regions are also suffering from the problems of air, water and noise pollution due to the use of machinery, thus creating lots of health hazards to the locals. So there is noise, there is air pollution, there is water pollution, and there is noise pollution. Of course, due to which lots of noise is being created because lots of machinery is being used. The blasting of rocks continuously takes place, and yes, that is why there will be lots of hazards on the locals because all these important components in the atmosphere are being affected by the process of mining. Then what are the social problems? What next? Displacement of local people is quite common wherever there are new discoveries of minerals. So commonly people ask to move away from those places because it's going to cause all this. The most affected community is the tribal population. So these people are asked to move away from those communities as most of the tribal areas have rich mineral deposits. So the tribal areas are mostly rich with the mineral deposits. That is the reason this mining activities happen in the tribal areas. So in most of the case studies, we find that tribal people opposing mining activities in their regions because it's going to affect their day-to-day activity. They cannot live as usual once the mining activities start because they're asked to displace from those areas. Okay. The local community values and lifestyle of these people are drastically impacted due to industrialization of these areas. So lots of machinery is coming, lots of noise is being created. Industrialization starts. The local community, that ecosystem gets totally affected. You can see the machineries here. Lots of machinery is being used. Yes, these people have been, you must have heard about a case study of from Arku Valley where the people oppose the bauxite ore mining. So the tribals are against the mining of bauxite ore, rich source of bauxite ore over there. But because the people are opposing it, the government is also against mining in those areas because it's going to cause lots of effect on the environment, and not only on the environment, on the lives of the people. The livelihood has been lost. So these are one major problem, social related problems. Okay, next. So excessive mineral resources extraction, what exactly happens? Say again, we'll talk about carbon output. Okay, then mining industry is dependent on use of fossil fuels for obtaining energy for its operational activities. So definitely it requires some energy, mining industry also. That energy is also getting from, it is continuously dependent on fossil fuels only. So there is lots of liberation of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So burning of fossil fuels emit carbon, which acts as a major pollutant harming the environment. So fossil fuels are being burnt, and of course they emit carbon, and which acts as a harming major pollutant, which is harming the environment. So this is carbon output. In order to control emission of carbon, various regulations related to emission credits have been imposed by different countries under their environmental laws. So we have environmental laws and regulations which in one particular law related to environment, related to carbon credits, it clearly states that different countries have their own carbon credit regulation. So this control of carbon emissions must be stopped. Emission of carbon must be controlled. So those emission credits, it is related to a topic called carbon credits, or we call them carbon emission credits. This has been controlled by different countries by imposing, different rules and regulations related to carbon emissions. And this is one point. Next one, soil erosion. As I told you, the outermost layer of the soil is being displaced, and it has been an aggressive process which can harm the landscape in vast area apart from the mining field itself. So the vast areas are being affected, not only in the mining field, nearby areas also. There is a big disturbance with the ecosystem. And the negative effects of these mining activities are experienced even after decades of shutting down of mines. So, yes, this has already been experienced after decades of shutting down of the mines. After digging out, carrying out all the mining operations in those areas, even after shutting down, even after decades, those effects have been felt by the local people. So yes, the negative effects are always been felt even after closure of the mining operations, even after the decades. Yes. Then water use and wastewater. In modern mining activities, huge amount of water is required for extraction, processing, and waste disposal activities. So lots of water is being required. So yes, lots of water is being used in the mining activities. The water resources nearby locations are polluted from the wastewater, thus creating scarcity of the fresh water for drinking and other daily needs. So these are the modern ways of technology which is included in mining operations nowadays. So the water is being used to a large extent, and the wastewater is also being dumped there only. Hence, it's creating lots of menace to the people, locals, especially polluting the drinking water system of the local bodies. So this is one aspect. Next, of course, the ecosystem damage. Ecosystem is completely damaged. You can see in this particular picture, no greenery component at all. It is completely damaged, and different types of mines affect different types of ecosystems. So suppose the mining is going on, I have given an example here. If it's going on in the ocean, so example, ocean snail, ghost octopus, these are endangered due to deep sea mining. In the sea, when the mining is going on, so these organisms, we are losing them. They are totally endangered because of deep sea mining in these areas. So ecosystem damage, different types of mines affect different types of ecosystem. That is one. Then air. Air quality is also greatly impacted by the mining, and in order to extract an ore, drilling and blasting of rock is required on a large scale, which produces lots of dust particles in the atmosphere. Drilling is required, blasting of rocks is required, and this is being done on a large scale, which liberates lots of dust particles in the atmosphere. So this is one. We are talking about extraction of ore. Then mining also involves emission of greenhouse gases like methane, which is a great threat to the environment and to the living organisms. So it is definitely involves the emission of greenhouse effects, especially methane and carbon. So when these gases are being liberated, so they have a great threat to the environment and living organisms because they're considered to be the greenhouse gases affecting the environment. Okay, so ecosystem damage and the air damage. Next, damage to the land. Yes, a number of concerns have been raised related to negative impact of mining on land, especially the landscape is being lost. Open pits and piles of waste rocks due to mining operations can lead to physical destruction of the land. So you can see that physically the land is being destroyed at the mining site because you can see here I have given you one particular picture before and after. So you can see the picture here before, after, and here you can see before how is the landscape and after the mining process how it becomes. So these are some things which have to be taken care. Physical destruction we can see openly. And it is also huge responsibility, huge possibility that many of the surface features that were present before mining activities cannot be replaced after the process. So because of the noise, because of the destruction of the atmosphere, because of the environmental issues, we can see lots of organisms have been completely destroyed. So yes, because of this process, and once it is completed, it's been used for a decade, suppose, even after 2 or 3 decades after its completion of mining, the naturally whatever is present before that will not be replaced. It cannot be replenished. That is the main worry, main cause of worry for us. Okay, next point. Yes, there are two. I'm going to deal with two case studies related to mining, especially mining in Rajasthan. I should talk about Rajasthan because it can produce 42 varieties of minerals, 23 varieties of minor minerals. Major minerals are about 42, 23 are of minor minerals. So we can imagine the mining, operations in the state of Rajasthan. So here in Rajasthan, the mineral deposits are concentrated along with the Aravalli range. You can see the range that runs through large parts of the state. As I was talking to you, these minerals mostly are concentrated very near to the hills and mountains or to the forest areas. Yes, where the mining activity is spread here on the Aravalli range of mountains. So the environmental impact of mining is air pollution, water pollution, loss of biological diversity, degradation, violation of environmental laws. So all this is happening in the state of Rajasthan. But we are dependent on this state for 42, varieties of major minerals and 23 varieties of minor minerals. So yes, there is huge loss out of all the pollutions we have discussed effects. One major concern is the biodiversity degradation. So we all know the importance of biodiversity, different variety and variability of life present. So once there is the mining activity starts, we are losing lots of biodiversity. Lots of species are being lost permanently. So that is why we are talking about non-renewable resources here. So yes, if this mining cannot be controlled, what happens is indiscriminate mining is going on. We are taking all the minerals outside, and especially that state or those areas will have a major concern with pollution. So you can see here the literacy rate of mine labor is only 3.26%. The person or who is working in this mine, the literacy rate is only 3%, 3.26%. Lack of knowledge, they are fully exploited, especially women in these areas. So they don't know what is the impact on their bodies or what actually happens in the environment because of the mining activities. They keep on working in the mines for a longer time because their literacy is very less, about 3.26%. Due to lack of knowledge, they're fully exploited, especially women in these areas have been exploited. Many tribes living in Aravalli range are forced to work in these mines. The tribal people are being forced, and unregulated mining not only destroying nature's fine equilibrium but also threatening life. Cultural and social, life of the tribals are at risk. Okay, so these are tribals are only asked to work there. Their literacy rate is less. They do not know the impacts of mining, and these are the effects of mining conditions. Not only the nature's equilibrium, it is also threatening life, and also culture and social life of the tribals is completely disturbed. Public awareness and new strict laws must be introduced. All shall be well if economy and ecology, development and environment go hand in hand. So the environment is in safe hands only if economy and ecology, development and environment, they go hand in hand. So we are in safe hands. Otherwise, yes, we are facing the threat because of the mining issues. So this is what I want to, give you one case study about these issues, especially women and especially the communities where the education is very less, the literacy rate is less. These people are mostly affected. They do not know the impacts, so they work there for long years. Their social life, their what else we call them, their socially they are being exploited. Their life is culturally, socially, exploitation takes place. Their life is in threat. So this is one case study which I just wanted to acknowledge. Next one, this is Gair Palma coal mines in Chhattisgarh. Okay, Rasgar district in Chhattisgarh. Same thing here also. The National Commission of Scheduled Tribes to defer public hearings. Study of Indian Council of Medical Research. They have put all the points that the tribal's health is adversely affected because of mining in these areas. So, our Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, yes, they have facilitated the green clearance of a coal mine here, and irrespective of all the suggestions given by the NCST, the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes and all. So, yes, even green clearance is being given for a coal mine here, and the government-sponsored studies clearly states that air and water in this particular region is polluted, and pointing to increased prevalence of respiratory diseases. So already the study is clearly stating that already the people are suffering from the respiratory diseases, but still they have given a green clearance for mining of coal mines in these areas. So this is also one of the case study. Still government has to take action and they have to think of the appropriate methods, and of course we are moving forward to green technologies because of these issues. Coal is present on a large scale in our country, but the usage of it is leading to pollution. So these are the two case studies related to mineral resources or effects of mining. Then, when we are talking about metallic minerals, how they are useful, then we have also to discuss about non-metallic minerals. Especially, we have to talk about coal. So, as I was talking, the importance of coal, it is being used for powering our homes, lighting our homes. How it is formed? It is formed from the decaying matter under the action of high pressure and temperature under the Earth's surface, which took millions of years. So it is not centuries or it is not decades formation, millions of years formation under high pressure and temperature under the Earth's surface. So the decaying matter converted into coal. So that is what we are using now. The coal is made up of carbon. The other elements such as hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur do form some parts of coal. Okay, so mostly it is of carbon, but yes, these elements are also present in coal. Now, capacity of coal to give energy depends upon the percentage of carbon content. So there are different types of coal. So depending upon their carbon content, their calorific value is also been increased. So you can see here, The older the coal, more is the carbon content. If the coal is older one, so the carbon content is more. And yes, we can see that it is taking millions of years for the formation of coal. Now, types of coal, we first one, anthracite, highest rank of ignitable coal this is, and it's hard, black and glassy. Carbon content is about 80 to 95%. So yes, the moisture is 8 to 15%. Calorific value, you can check here, 8,600 kilocalories per hour. So because the carbon content is 80 to 95%, its calorific value is also large, 8,600 kilocalories per hour, and it is used in residential and commercial place heating. Okay, so this is one type of coal where you can see the carbon content is huge, hence the calorific value is also the bigger one. Okay, next, bituminous coal. So this is another variety of coal abundantly used throughout the world, and dense black sedimentary rocks, but it can be light brown also sometimes. Carbon content is 40 to 80%. So its calorific value is 8,000 kilocalories per hour. So you can see carbon content is directly proportional to the calorific value, and it is used in power generation and also for producing coke in steel industries. So this is one type of coal, we call it bituminous coal. Okay. Next one, lignite coal. So this is another one. It is a formed of compressed peat, also called as brown coal. It's slightly brown in color. It is also the youngest geological coal, and it's low ranking and highly volatile. Okay, and carbon content here it is 40 to 55%, and you can just check with the calorific value, 6,300 kilocalories per hour. So as I told you, carbon content is directly proportional to the calorific value and primarily used in power generation. So this is the another kind of coal which is light brown in color, and you can check with the carbon content and with the calorific value. Okay, so this is one type of coal. Next one, so globally, what are the coal reserves? You can see here USA with the 237 billion tons. That means almost 26.6%. It is having. I'm talking about the largest coal reserves in the world. Then it is Russia 17.6%, then it is China 12.8%, then it is Australia with 8.6%, then it is India with 6.8% of coal reserves. So these are the largest coal reserves in the world. Next, origin of coal. As I was talking to you, millions of years it has been taken, 100 to 400 million years ago, 100 millions ago, and today you can see it is not one day process or a decade process or a century process. Millions and millions of years ago when this process started, then it led to the formation of coal. Because of the time, it's taking lots of time, pressure and the heat led to the formation of coal deposits. Here you can see from the wood, then it is peat, then the next stage is lignite, then bituminous, then anthracite. Okay, so anthracite is the oldest coal you can see here. Increase in carbon contents and calorific value. From here to anthracite, from wood to anthracite, there is an increase in carbon content, and of course the calorific value, hardness also increases. Now, from wood to anthracite, there is a decrease in hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur and nitrogen contents and volatile matter. So this part is decreasing, these things are decreasing. There is an increase in the calorific value and hardness. So that is what we are talking about, different types of coal. Okay, next. Now coal rank, yes, you can see here it's a coal rank given, lignite, low coal here, rank coal, sub-bituminous, bituminous and anthracite. These are the 4 stages you can find here, and these are related to coal rank. Yes, these are some of the references which I have used in my today's session. That's all for today. So we had a discussion on mineral resources, types of mineral resources, metallic and non-metallic mineral resources, their uses, environmental impacts and the case studies. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next section. Thank you.